Hey comrades, this is me, Ghost7Kills, with Season 2 of Demigods, and I apologize if I've been producing these out, like, heavily on you, because I've been spinning out Demigods videos, God. I've been spinning out a lot of Demigod videos, and I apologize for that, due to the fact that, it's easy to do. I like, just loading up Minecraft and playing on it. I did, move everything, so, it'd be easier on us to just go. Now, I'm doing a solo episode. If you guys don't understand this, is when I do solo episodes, I give you a piece of lore around demigods, and today's lore is going to be about how the my people, Dylan's people, Dakota's and Lewis's people got to Albion, to this city, or not the city, to this location to build their homes. I need to put what's it called, slabs there. All right. Before I ramble on, let me give you a quick Q&A, or a Q&A. Well, you guys, I'll ask questions and you guys can answer them in the comments below, like all YouTubers do. I'm a little bit off today because tomorrow I'll be uploading a video I did yesterday and a video I will be doing today. And tomorrow I'm heading to MomoCon for some anime stuff. That's gonna be always cool. I might get some pictures, post them on maybe. God damn it, you green dicks! On Twitter and what? Oh, it's the rimming of the block. So further ado, before I get into this, I will be starting the Binding of Isaac Rebirth because Dylan's asked me, a few people on my Twitter have asked me, when will you be doing Gmod or the Binding of Isaac? And I will be doing the Binding of Isaac next Monday. So after this week, this Sunday, I will be recording the Binding of Isaac as a series. Uh, This means another series, of course, and more views or more viewing. Another thing is, I will be doing GTA Online with Dino. I don't know when, but I will be doing that, so that's always going to be fun. And I don't know. This is going to be a typical grind video, but of course having the lore is going to make it interesting. And what else did I forget? I think I'm forgetting something. This is why I made so many iron picks. Um, the video that I upload before this one, I I got carried away, and I understand I did. So don't be offended by anything I say in that video. If you guys are, I apologize. I'm doing a lot of apologizing. I mean, my commentary could be a bit crude, and I do try to fix that, but knowing me, I'm not really a most sensible person. I am very hyper, very one-minded. So yeah, don't get offended by the video that I upload. And let's get into this lore before I bore you guys. All right. After the cities of Hellforge, Stone Ridge, Titans were destroyed, they fled to Nowhere, a town in the middle or off the coast of Hellforge. And this little town was ruled by a ruler known as Childrage, and his commodity was not expensive gear, rare items, or powerful weapons, or extensive cities. No, his most valuable item was a room filled with chests. But this was no normal room. This room was a room of complete empowerment. And how I explain this is he did a lot of engineering. His people were engineers. And this is a very typical trait for the Nowarians to be engineers. They were excellent. They built walls similar to the walls that I am formerly building. They built town halls. They've extensively built things for their own personal needs. But when these refugees show up on the Norwarians' front gates, they realize that something seriously bad had happened to the cities. So the leaders of the cities sit down with the leader of Nowhere, and he decides, why don't we build boats and set sail off to a new kingdom? After extensive argument and back and forth bickering, the leaders decided to form one kingdom, and this kingdom will furtherly be known as the Guild. This guild was not just for trading and harmony, it was more for the effect of keeping each other safe from the Forsaken God. After hearing about this, the Forsaken God set plagues upon the Nowarians. After this, the 7 plagues destroyed most of their timber, 80% of their crops, and killed most of their people. After the devastating attack, the leader of Nowhere decided it was better for them to leave, since they were not welcome in that world anymore. So they packed their things and built these giant boats known as the Arks. Now, these Arks are similar to Noah Ark's Ark, but it's much bigger and it held more people. Thousands of refugees piled upon these boats. Thousands of fighting men and women deciding to live instead of dying by the forsaken undead or even the god himself. Now, this posed a threat due to that if these people lived, the Forsaken would lose power. And he wasn't gonna have that. No, the Forsaken is this big bad demonic god. He's killing off humankind, and he decides to summon typhoons, since after the death of Poseidon, that he could do so. He conjured powerful storms similar to Zeus, and he raised the dead from the ocean from Davy Jones' locker like Hades. Now, the gods that once were the gods of old mustered up enough strength to protect their disciples, the people that honestly believed in their power. And those ships hoisted off in the rainy, desolate sea. Most of them didn't make it out. Most of them got destroyed, and that's life. I mean, shipwrecks. But those that did survive found a new land known as Albion, and they met a new type of a new type of people known as the Albions. Now, the Albions were worshipping a whole different god system. They built these I can't even speak English, I apologize. They built these very, very large altars and tiki pools, similar to Indian-like. And they praised a god of wisdom. Now, this god of wisdom, not like in the lore of the Book of the Dawn that I read in the last video, this god of wisdom was the first god. Before anything, it was him. And I will not pronounce his name because I cannot say it. It is a Spanish god, and it's Lewis's god. Now, Lewis was a titan, and he did not know that his father that left him behind, Kronos himself, found it in his very being to tell him, yo, dude, your father is a prophet of, that god. He's really powerful. You should, worship him. So Lewis did. He built an altar, excuse me, and he prayed to this new god for wisdom and power. And the new god answered back, and this is what he said. "Oh, great spider, you have shown me your faith. I will give you the mind, the ever-knowing prophet of knowing. You will see the future, the past, and the present. You will not know what they mean or know what to come, because you will never be surprised. Men are very predictable things. Women are very predictable things. But a god, that is a different story. Be careful, my prophet, that these gods will wage war, and it is your job to close the peace. Now, Lewis, or Spider, didn't know what this meant. And I can honestly see why. He's being talked by a being that is overly the top, more powerful than him in every other way. And he says, "What does this mean?" And the prophet says, "In due time, you will know, my very prophet." So, Lewis set off to build him a home. And in do so, he ran into the prophet of Hades. Well, the former prophet of Hades. Now, Ghost Eyes, or myself in general, was poor. I was poorer than anything that you could honestly be. My city had crumbled, my people were starving, and I needed a way to figure out how the hell am I going to get all these people fed and in bed by nightfall. So Lewis, being a wise prophet of the God of Wisdom, decided, why don't you build a town? Well, of course, being myself, I said, wow, that is a great idea. I'll go right on that. Let me just build a mine and get a couple of my workers to get right on that. So we started mining, and a voice spoke upon to Ghost Eyes, and he said, well, she said, "Dear Ghost, I am the prophet of the sun. I am the goddess of everything you will ever see." Because you kind of need light to see. So, Ghost Eyes, not knowing what the fuck's going on, looked at his friend and he said, did you say something to me? Am I going crazy? And his friend said, no, you're not going crazy. You're probably being talked to a god. So, the god revealed herself to be Silicis, or Silices, whatever I said beforehand. And Silices, the goddess of the sun, is a vengeful god. She is half demon and half angel. But to make this even worse is that she is the most neediest god out of all the others. She will ask you to do everything that you honestly don't want to do. And of course, she'll give you a reward in the end, because, you know, you gotta give a paycheck to a worker. But it's annoying. So Ghost Eyes, doing his own thing, just mining, gets struck by lightning. For no reason. And he looks at the sun and he says, "What was that for?" And Slices says, "I am bored, so I smited thee." So, being my typical self, I talked to the sun and I said, "Hey, that's not fair. How dare you smite me?" And she, or Slices, said, "Hey, I'm a god. I can do what I want. So, what am I going to argue with a god?" So I go on to doing my everyday thing. I end up eating bacon and get poisoned, and after that, Silices tells Ghost Eyes to build a church. And so I did. I built a church to avoid being smited. After all this conflict with the new god of the sun, Ghost Eyes sat down and he talked to his dearest friend, a friend from the north, a friend off the coast of Nowhere. Now, Nowhere was a little town, no doubt, but they were very ingenuity, my lord, why do I even try? They were very good at building, to put it in simple terms. They had that ingenuity, there we go. Now, Childrage, being a god, once a god, felt in a great depression due to the fact that he lost his chest room, his most prized possession, all his valuables, all his things that he ever cared about were wiped away. In this depression, he traveled to a giant, great mountain, where he spoke upon to the mountain, and he said, "Dear mountain, if I could have one wish, bring me back thy chest room, so I could keep my things safe." Well, the mountain answered back, but in a very cold and dry voice. Dear Childrage, I have heard your pleas for help, and I help you. I am Yule, the god of ice, snow, and death. I shall give you the power you need to rebuild your home. So Childrage, thinking, oh my god, I'm going insane like Cameron, ran down the mountain, ran past Cameron, jumped into his bed, and said, I don't want to come out, I'm scared. Now, Yule, thinking that was really dumb, froze everything around Childrage. And since Childrage figured out, wow, he's a god, he can help me, and got out of his bed and put on his slippers because it was cold, and he talked to Yule. Now, Yule is a very wise god, same as the god of wisdom, except he doesn't have all the knowledge. He's like a dictionary compared to the internet. Now, Yule, he's talking to Childrage, and he says, Childrage, I picked you, since you built me an altar. You will be my prophet. So Childrage was like, yeah, that's cool. What do I do? Do I get any cool powers or nothing? Do I take no fall damage like Zeus? Well, Yule says, no, in due time there will be a great holy war between a god of thunder and a god of the sun. In this due war, sides will be drawn, and I think you should draw the side of which is beneficial to your own desires. Yes, the sun may have the benefits of healing and burning. And yes, the god of thunder may have the power to strike his foes and become a great Basculus. But look into your heart and decide peace between these two gods. Silices, the goddess of the sun, will try everything to turn you to greed. And Brotus, the god of thunder, will threaten you with fear. It is your job to not fall for these trickery. Your job is to stand with the god of wisdom and choose a side based on what you think is right. Now, Childrage, thinking to himself, wow, I've been handed a great responsibility. I get to turn the tides of battle between two powerful beings. Now, over all this, as Childrage spoke to his god, he learned things about the world. He learned things about water, like how it's H2O and the chemistry. But he also learned how to control the water, bend it in the form of ways that not normal people could do. He built a giant ice sculpture, and he named it in the prides of Yule. Yule gifted him with the ice turning to pure diamond. This was the first sign of prophets being able to turn things into the desires that they wanted. Now Yule used a lot of power during that transformation and remained silent for the rest of the decade. Now, while all this is going down, near an opposite mountain, 90 blocks to 200 blocks away, inside, a great evil was brewing. No, not the Forsaken, a god of thunder. Now, being a god of thunder, Brotus, the brother of Silices, was born out of glory, war, hatred, and kingship. He knows how to rule a kingdom. And it is not with kindness. No, it is with an iron fist. He was the most notorious dictator of gods. He was the king of gods at one point until Zeus dethroned him. But now Zeus is dead. And Brotus takes his throne back. But due to the fact that Silices, his older sister, wanted the throne to herself. Now, this is where things start to turn sour between the brother and sister relationship. No, they can't go out on the outing like Dylan said, or, talk about their differences. No, they go straight into battle. Brotus becoming a great basilisk with 7 heads and lightning and clouds forming around him. He was a force of nature, a force of power that was unreckoned by any mortal man. Besides one mortal man that stood in front of the basilisk was Silices. No, this was not Ghost Eyes, the prophet of Silices, since he was building cities and walls to praise the god. This was Duelist. Now, you're going to say, hey, Cameron, why is Duelist standing with your god? Now, Silices was originally wanting Duelist to join her due to the fact that he was a powerful soldier. He had taken wars, he would claim cities, he would enslave people. But Brotus saw a man worthy to take upon a god. Now, Silices gave him a sword and shield, called Shafter and Ladavith. And Ladavith, the shield, was carved with a lightning bolt, and Shaft was carved with the soul of a werewolf. A pure and silver blade and a shield made of solid gold. Now, Duelist stood forth, the great and mighty basilisk known as Brotus, and he spoke upon Brotus and said, "You may be bigger, you may be stronger, but I am man, and man have free will, thou gods have only will of nature. I do not fall through any mortal conflict, since I make my own destiny. God's destiny is chosen by that of man. If I do not believe in you, you do not exist." Brotus saw this as a sign or a threat, and he struck with a mighty bolt of lightning. As Duelist threw up the shield, deflecting it, calling forth a loud noise of thunder, the first thunder. Duelist defended quite a lot of thunderbolts from Brotus, and Brotus became impressed with the will and the might of this very being. Now, Ghost Eyes walked upon Silices and said, Why do you help a man so eager to destroy and take and steal and corrupt?" Silices says, "Greed is a powerful thing, of course. Yes, greed is a very powerful item. The color of gold is the color of greed, and thus the color of the sun is the color of greed." Now, Ghost Eyes became confused. Greed is a sin. Why shall they do it? He said. "The reason that I do it," Silices spoke, "is to see what will come. Will this man change, becoming evil, deceit, and would cheat to take what he wants? Or will he be kind and stand forth with the very people and the very thing that he cares most? Family?" As Ghost Eyes spoke. Yes, family, of course, Ghost Eyes. But Silices vanished before Ghost Eyes could finish his sentence, and left him puzzled. Why would... Ooh, you almost got me there, you little... Ho! What? Where was I? So Silices vanished before Ghost Eyes could finish his sentence, and left the poor man puzzled. He did not know what was going on, or what would greed be the cause of the destruction of the cities? Was that the very being the Forsaken came to do? He heard whispers of the north, Yul speaking to Childrage about vigorous things. He heard whispers to the west, where the god of wisdom spoke upon Spider, telling him all he needed to know, and all he needed to do was survive and live and flourish. Leave the other religions alone. Until due time, of course. Now, what was so important that Silices had to confront a basilisk, a very being of death and corruption, a god in a scaly form. As the basilisk fought and struggled to keep up with Duelist fell into a great stump. He was being bitten and poisoned and electrocuted. He was his back against the wall, would some say. And a bit of courage came over a man. Not Duelist. No. Ghost Eyes jumped in with his leather shield and his wooden club, and he stood back to back with his fellow man. He said, "I have yours if you have mine." So they fought the great god Basilisk. Thunder roared, lightning sparked, fires were started, and Silices grinned. No. She did not grin to see that greed was overcoming the men. No, she smiled to see that they were working together, not against one another, like some would think, but actually working as a unit, a very thing that she wanted to see. Now she created man. No, she did not create man as the god of wisdom had. She created man with the knowledge of free will. She gave them that very item to build, to understand one another. Now, you're going to say, Ghost Eyes, this is just typical lore. Why are you telling us this? Now, this is the lore behind how the cities were destroyed and how the new gods were formed. This is just false lore, of course, but it's quite interesting if you think about it. This lore, of course, being made up, is the start of Demigod Season 2's actual plot. Now, you're going to say, Ghost Eyes, get to the point. Now, I can't get into too much of it, but Little Fry, Lemon Fox, Striker, and Mark, just plain out Mark, are thinking about potentially fighting new monsters. Now, I showed these monsters to Dylan, Dakota, Lewis already, and oh my god, Slices, you are a needy bitch. And they didn't like them. But these aren't normal monsters. Of course, we're going to have to beat the Ender Dragon and the Elder Guardians and the Wither. And we don't have all the powers that we had before. No, we are typical mortal men with gods watching over us. We don't literally become the gods in this series. And that kind of opposes a thing to us due to the fact now the Wither can actually deal a lot of damage. The Dragon can deal a lot of damage if we don't have the right tools. And it really throws us into a twist. Of course, it's going to be a while since Season 2 is going to go on, all to the fact of 1.9 combat update. And if that updates, of course, we may update to that because of the shield plugin and the redos to all the bosses. But if it doesn't, we will fight all the all of the bosses, plus the command block bosses, such as like the Hydra, the seven-headed Basilisk would be known as Brotus, would be the Hydra. We would be fighting Herobrine as the Forsaken. I think. I'm not sure. We'd be fighting a lot of new stuff. And I want to say, those that really want to join the server and all that and want to join us in this adventure, go ahead, leave your IGN in the chat below and your Skype, because your Skype or your TeamSpeak, because I record on TeamSpeak, so if you don't got TeamSpeak, you're kind of out of luck. I do get on Skype to talk to people such as like Rots and Amber, Red, all those fun people, but That's the only reason I get on. I did use it to record when my videos were really new and I just started YouTube. But I don't do it anymore because I get better frames with TeamSpeak. So that lore, I hope, shined a bit of light to you guys. Told you a bit about our upcoming events and our history of the gods. And I don't know. I think I'll cook this iron and I'll end the video. Ugh. Oh yeah, this is our banner. If you guys didn't know, this is fucking nice, isn't it? It's the cross with the sun. Salices says, "You are my child, and I will always protect you." I hope you do that, because we're going to be fighting some very OP bosses. I really need some protection. Give me some divine judgment, please. Throw it down, Salices. Now, last video, it looked like me and Dylan got into a fight. I will tell you, me and Dylan are actually great friends. We're rivals. We're rivals all full out. And if you guys are gonna be like, oh, they hate each other. Why do they even record? No, we don't hate each other. We're just rivals. I mean, I think it's like, oh my god, that is an expensive commodity. I don't even have buckets for milk, do I? I'm gonna be throwing. No, fuck it. I'm not gonna make you milk. I mean, cake. If you want cake, go to the grocery store and get your own cake. If I'm gonna make cake, I'm gonna make cake for myself. I don't even have a bakery yet. I'm gonna probably finish up the walls because I did gather enough cobblestone to finish up these walls. I don't think I had enough to finish up the back walls and build up the towers, but I will be finishing up this wall in general. Let that iron cook. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Tried to get a pet last video as well, but didn't work out. 36 iron, that's beautiful. And I heard there was gonna be like an animation based around the Demigods lore. I don't know how true that's gonna be, but if they do manage to make it and put it on the channel, that'd be fucking amazing. It'd be the first animation on my channel, and I would enjoy that very much. I would watch that every day. Get up every day and just go to my channel to watch a video, one video. I'd be watching my own video. What a scrub. Hey, Skelly Brew. And if you guys want to tune in to another a friend of mine series, it's Bendin Unlimited. It's Spidey Boy 2013. I think so. I think I got his name right. Or Lewis. He is doing something similar to my series, the Demigod series, but it's got avatar bending, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. I think that iron may be done. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna store this food here. I don't have a potion chest yet, so you're gonna have to bear with me with spider eyes. And let's go outside. Go to the front. Well, the front of the hold. Let me kill this Skelly Brew first. Let's see here. Alright, and it's raining / weather clear. If you guys enjoyed this commentary, leave a like, a suggestion. Please subscribe, because, you know, that helps me out a lot. It gives me the motivation to give you guys more videos. More videos like this, more videos like this, and more videos like this. Until then, comrades, Volsradonia, you stay cheesy. I'm serious, you stay cheesy. And I'll see you in next video. Bye! Have a good time!